Hi, well, welcome everyone. My name is Megan Fisher. I am a regional vice president in Western Iowa, and I'm excited to share with you tonight. My goal is to kind of keep this simple and short and sweet and duplicatable, which is what we all want in our businesses, right? So here we go. I am going to talk to you about a really easy tool, simple tool that my team just literally started using last week. So it's not like we've been using this forever, but we loved it. We had so much fun with it. So I wanted to introduce it to you all. And I might have them kind of chime in too, because I see a few of their faces on that had some really good results from it last week. But I'm going to teach you how to use a virtual platform a little bit better. So we're all online, right? We're all on, well, most of us are on Facebook or some form of social media, Instagram, Snapchat. I'm on like half of those things, but lots of you are internet and social media savvy. So, and that's kind of the way of the world is social media, some form of social platform, and it's a great tool to build our business. Do we need it? No, but it's a great tool to enhance our business. Um, so I'm going to talk about that tonight, but getting back to like what is our system. It's like Starbucks has a system, Arbonne has a system. Our system is getting in front of 40 people per month. You all know that if we literally get in front of 40 people a month, we're going to have a growing, thriving business, right? Several different ways you can do it. You can do it through one-on-one, so belly to belly, and all of this can be done person to person or virtual. So we all know we can meet someone at a coffee shop and do a one-on-one with them, or we can be on Zoom like we are tonight and do it that way. Same with workshops. We can do in-home workshops. We can do virtual workshops, which you in a couple weeks in May are going to get to hear from dynamic duo Nikki Johnson and Jamie Lazier. They're going to give us some social media tips. They're like incredible at social media, so I'm excited to learn from them. They've given me some awesome tips of how to beef up my like my Facebook parties or my Zoom parties, and they do both. So you're going to hear all about that in a few weeks. And then events, right? We can bring people to events. So you will notice in April, and these dates, we're just getting them kind of firmed up, and we'll get you all invites, but there's going to be tons of events you can utilize in April because we have new products coming out in like in a week. But we're going to have tons of product launches in the Cedar Rapids area, Omaha area, Des Moines area, and surround Hampton area, and then some. Laura, I know, is going to do some in Arizona. So we have lots going on in April and lots of events you can utilize, right, to bring your peeps to, which is super fun. It's that belly to belly event. But one thing at least I'm guilty of this, so I'm going to speak for the group. I'm totally putting you guys all in this little box because I know I'm guilty of this, but utilizing events that are already there. So every single Monday, if you guys haven't seen this, Valerie, our sweet MVP, does a live Facebook event, and it's every single Monday at 8 p.m. and she has a new VP on every week, which I love because we have so many different people we get to hear from, so many people we can plug our guests into. And hold on, I'm gonna see.
Please don't fight with me. Let's go. Turn the TV off.
I'm gonna see if you're not muted. Can you mute your little screen in the left-hand corner? I'm going to try to mute you. I think I can do it. There we go. I think everyone's muted now. Sorry. I'm getting sidetracked. Okay, so we have those Monday night events, right, with different VPs. I love that for several different reasons. Number one, if you yourself just get on it, I have learned, like just by watching the last couple 6 weeks that they've been doing them, I'm like, ooh, I like how Leanne said that, or I like how Alicia phrased it that way. Like, I'm gonna put that in my own presentation. So they're good for yourself, especially if you're a brand new consultant or you're like, I want to beef up how I present Arbonne. Like, get on them yourself and just check them out. But they're fabulous for getting your network into something Arbonne, because sometimes those in-person events are hard. They might not live in your city. They might be in a different state or a different country. You can plug them into these virtual events, which I love. They're a half hour or less. If they can't get on live, they can watch the recording. So I'm going to talk specifically about utilizing those, and know we are in the process. Your area manager and above team is working on getting some health and wellness virtuals up and running. So know that's to come too. So this is how you could, I'm going to talk about those a little and how you can utilize them, because those are going to roll out here very soon, where you're going to have maybe a health and wellness virtual event every other week that you can plug people into to get them into the boot camp. So we as a leadership team are trying to make your job way easier so you can just plug people into it. But sometimes that's the glitch with virtual events, right? It's so easy just to throw someone in a group, and I'm guilty of this. I forget that I put them in there and I forget to properly follow up with them. And I think the hardest, I always say, like, there's a beauty and a beast to social media. The beauty of social media is you can connect with anyone anywhere. The beast of it is you lose the belly to belly connection that Arbonne is all about. Like, what makes Arbonne in my mind stand apart is the people. Like, looking at all your faces on this Zoom account tonight, it's you guys. You guys, you are the secret sauce of Arbonne, because you love and bless and serve people. And Arbonne people do that better than anyone, because we are outstanding individuals, right? Like, we're incredible. So that sometimes I think is lost when we're on social media and virtual platforms, because we're not belly to belly and asking them about their day and their family, and really we lose that connection piece. So that's really what I'm going to talk about tonight, is what we can utilize. So basically there is 4 steps to utilizing virtual events, whether they're health and wellness, those are coming out, or specifically these virtual DAs. Tomorrow night specifically, our mama bear, Renee Welk, will be the VP guest speaker. So that's super fun. Most of us know Renee and we can easily connect to her. So this is step number 1 for utilizing any virtual events, especially tomorrow night. Ask. So right now, I want you to think of 5 people you can invite tomorrow night to the virtual DA. And I'm gonna, while you're thinking of 5, I'm gonna tell you about Renee, just because it might help you think of some people you could connect onto that event. So Renee is a former teacher, former middle school and high school teacher. She taught Spanish, she coached. I think she coached literally all sports but cross country, basketball, weightlifting, track. So she was a coach. Her husband and her both started a photography business kind of together. He's kind of he's the creative genius behind it, and she's like the brains behind it. Like, she makes the business run. So they're business owners. She was incredibly busy, working like 25 different jobs. So if you know someone who like is just working a million jobs to make ends meet, she's a mom. She has 2 girls. She's a health nut enthusiast, but the cool thing about her is she used to not be. She used to be the biggest junk food junkie. So like, maybe you know someone who's a junk food junkie, and hearing Renee's story would maybe help them change their health habits. Try to think of anything else. If any of you can think of anything I'm missing to like help you think of people to add to Renee, type it in the comments. But that's a little bit about Renee, and hopefully I gave you enough time to add 5 people. And Renee too did not love network marketing. So maybe you have some people who've been stubborn and have told you no. Renee told Aaron Grasty no for like 2 years, something like that. And then Aaron finally begged her and said, I'll never ask you again, and don't make me go to this event alone. Like, she guilted her into going. And Renee was like, fine, I will go, but you better not ask me to go ever again. So maybe you have someone stubborn and is just a stinker. Write their name down. So you have to ask them. So now I want you to take these 5+ people you hopefully thought of, and you're going to turn around either tonight or sometime tomorrow and ask them to get on. So some verbiage, like if I was messaging Laura, I'd be like, hey Laura, how are you? Have a quick question. One of my good friends, Renee, is doing a fun virtual event tomorrow night, just to kind of tell her story and how she got involved in Arbonne. I would love for you just to hop on, hear her story. I think you will love her because you both have 2 small girls and your husbands are both incredibly busy and gone. And Worst case scenario, you'll finally learn what I do in Arbonne, and I'm excited to see what you think. Something like that. You just ask. And you wait for the response. And if you need better verbiage than that, either text me and I can give you some, or text whoever's mentoring, coaching you, because I bet 100% they can give you better verbiage. But once you ask and they respond, step 2 is super easy. Add them to the group. And if you're not already in the group and you have trouble finding it, just reach out to your mentor and coach. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it's just called Facebook Live Discover Arbonne, and you'll see like Valerie Edwards' face on it. But it's a huge group. Most of you should already be in there. So add your peeps to it. That's step 2. Step 3 is, and step 3 and 4 are the steps I personally was missing in my business. Maybe you are all doing this. I was not. So step 3 is engage and connect. So this is what our team did last week, and it was freaking fun. And it was so, and I'm going to hopefully show you guys some screenshots here. But it wasn't weird at all. We connected, they connected their people to me. So this is kind of the connecting piece of, you would, in a 3-way Facebook message, either connect your area manager or your RVP. And Nikki and Jamie had a really good point today, because they're like, what do you want us to do? And it's like, I don't care. And Nikki Johnson was like, well, I'm going to connect this person to you, Megan, because she has this in common with you. And I'm going to connect this person to Jamie because I'm Nikki's RVP, but Jamie is Nikki's area manager. She's like, I'm going to connect this person to Jamie because they would connect on this piece. So just connect your person to whoever, either your AM or your RVP, whoever you think they would really hit it off with. And you can say something like this. And I'm going to give us more examples since Renee's leading it. Last week, it was easy for them all to connect them to me because they were like, hey, you're not going to get to meet Megan personally because she's talking to you through Facebook Live, but I wanted to connect you here so she can kind of get to know you. And then they tell me a funny story about their friend to kind of break the barrier. So with Renee tomorrow night, it's a different, because my girls are not going to be messaging Renee, but a lot of you who, you know, Renee is your RVP, you can just connect them right up to her. So for those of you who are Renee's RVP, you could just be like, hey, Renee, this is my friend Anna. I'm connecting you here since, Renee, you actually won't get to talk to Renee tonight. And it would be like, funny thing about Anna is we have been best friends since we were like 2 years old. And we didn't go to the same college, like we live in separate cities, but literally we can get together and not see each other for 2 years and we can pick up like that. Anna and I once got arrested for stealing lawn ornaments. Like, I'm going to kind of do a funny piece, and it's not going to be at Arbonne at all. Like, it could be how you know them, maybe a funny story about you and that person. And then your AM or RVP is just going to take it there from them. So I'm going to try to share my screen so you guys can see this, because we had some funny messages going on last week. But our team loved it. I will say, like, we did, I think we did 10. Uh-oh, hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to get into some of these messages here. Let me find one. Okay, I'm going to share one. She joined Nikki's team. So we had, I think, 10 messages going so far. Out of the 10, 2 people have joined, and one person is for sure hosting and probably going to join. But this was our conversation. It had nothing to do with Arbonne, so I want to show you guys this, but it was so fun connecting with all their peeps. Like, so they told me, they connected me with them, and then I just got to love on their peeps. So I was like, oh my gosh, McKenna, I actually knew. I was like, I feel so old. Can you believe your baby sister watches my kiddos when we are in Hampton? Where are you now? Update me on your life. I still love going into Colonel Whipple and seeing your parents. Excited and honored to have you on Facebook Live tonight. So that's all I really said about Arbonne. I didn't even mention Arbonne. I just said excited and honored to have you on Facebook Live. And then we literally, for like 10 minutes, connected over her life. I made her send me pictures, stuff like that. But it was so fun. Like, that's the connection. That's the, like, belly to belly piece. I don't know how to get it off of, there we go, stop share. You can tell I do this all the time. I don't. That was the piece we were missing, is that connection piece. So that's what I want you to do. Now for my girls, obviously they're going to be messaging me, so they could say something like, hey Natalie, I'm so excited for you to get to hear from Renee tonight. Since it's Facebook Live, you're not actually going to meet Renee, and Renee is super swamped. So I'm going to have you meet my RVP, Megan. Megan actually coaches directly with Renee. She's awesome. Like, they're just going to connect me, and I'm going to probably love on Renee, be like, oh my gosh, you're going to love Renee so much. She is so fun. You're going to love her story. But then I'm going to get to know them. So that's kind of the connecting piece for my team. But we loved those third-party Facebook messages. It had nothing to do with Arbonne. It was just for those people letting their guard down of like, okay, these people can actually carry on a conversation and be funny, and they actually care about me because they're asking all of my life about my life. I'm going to invest my time into watch this Facebook Live tonight. And some of them did say, like, I can't get on live, but I'm watching the recording tomorrow. And they did. Like, we've been doing follow-up all week. And it's been so fun to get to know them. And then the fourth thing is engage. And this is kind of where you guys come in. Don't feel like you can't engage with your people either on that message. Like, your AM or RVP is going to be engaging with them, but you guys like step into, like, for instance, last week, this girl hadn't even tried Arbonne. So Megan Hansen had connected me with her, and I'm like, Megan Hansen, get her some samples tomorrow. And she's like, yep, running you samples tomorrow. Like, it was literally a three-way conversation, just like we would be in a coffee shop talking all together. It was just on Facebook Messenger. So that is tonight's really short, hopefully simple training, but it's something new. It's, you guys, this is just a tool. So I want you to understand, this is just enhancing our system of getting in front of 40 people. If you were like, this sounds stupid, I'm not doing this, don't do it. It's just a tool to help you build your business. If you don't want to do it, you do not have to do it. Our job in Arbonne is just to get in front of 40 people a month. So if you have a better tool to do that, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what works. This is just something to fill in the gap for those virtual events and get people to actually watch them, connect with them, and that missing piece of the belly-to-belly connection and that missing piece of follow-up that, especially as new consultants, I know when I was new, I didn't have the guts to ask someone, okay, what'd you think? And to have that conversation with them after, they watched the video. What was your favorite part? What did you find most interesting? I was totally scared to death to do those follow-up questions as a brand new consultant. So I love that this can duplicate down and we can model to our new consultants how to have a conversation and not be weird and just love on people just over Facebook Messenger or text. I know someone last week, they didn't have Facebook Messenger, so they connected to me, to their person via text, if that makes any sense. So start typing in questions or unmute yourself. I think we have more than a couple of minutes left. So feel free to unmute, ask questions. Or I know Nikki utilized it last week. I'm trying to see who else is on. Nikki, feel free to add anything or what you love, didn't love. Cheyenne, you utilized it last week, so feel free to add anything you want, girls. And maybe I can unmute everyone if you have questions. Okay, any questions? And Anna, I don't know if I understand your question. Did you always connect it to the live? Oh, you mean
the conversation to go back to the live? Is that kind of how you just talked about, like bringing up a conversation with them?
You mean like once they watched it?
Is that, I guess I was kind of confused when to use that, if it's around. Go ahead.
Yeah, we just used it around the Facebook Live. So I was an idiot like coach last week, and I told my girls like at 5 o'clock last week. So they had like 0 turnaround time. But I think it helped even. So don't feel like you guys had to do this today. You could start asking people tomorrow, and you could start your I think literally we started 3-way messaging at 7 p.m. and the event was at 8. So it was like a fast turnaround, but I think that too gave them accountability to like get on live. And I started messaging them back, and at like 7:30, I was like, can't wait to see you guys soon. So honored to have you on. So I think too that maybe helped give them some accountability to get on and remind them like this isn't a half hour. So did that answer it?
Megan,
Yep, it did.
I can kind of add into that. So like I kind of had a couple people that I've already been like thinking about starting the business with me. And so that's who I started those messages with, or are people that I already have a one-on-one planned with, or that I'm planning to do a one-on-one, just so they kind of have like a second Arbonne experience, I guess. So they could see last week was Megan's Facebook Live, and then tomorrow Renee's, but they could kind of like see that, get their side, and then we talk for like a one-on-one. We could kind of talk about that and answer any questions that way. So those were my first people to like add to those messages, were people that I wanted to do one-on-ones with or business with.
Mm-hmm. Good addition, Nikki. And for those of you who maybe hopped on live, and I don't think I said this, this is basically, you know how at a actual one-on-one, for those of you who've done them, in the first 10, 15 minutes of the actual one-on-one, it's us getting to know them. What do you like to do for fun? Tell me about your family. That was our Facebook message conversation. I was just replicating that one-on-one, getting to know them in Facebook Messenger, because they're not getting that on Facebook Live. They're just going to watch Renee talk. Renee's not going to be like, oh, I see Jody's on. Jody, how are you? Type in the messenger where you live and tell me about your family, because she can't do that. There's 100+ viewers. So that's what this Facebook Messenger is. I should have said that. It's that connecting piece of our one-on-one, getting to know people up front, and then sharing Arbonne. So it's like that first 15 minutes of a one-on-one, that's what we're doing through Facebook Messenger. Is your area manager, RVP, is going to get to know your peeps and all about their life, what they like to do for fun. Tell me about your family. And then they're going to get on and get the Arbonne piece from watching Renee. And then your AM or RVP is going to do the end part of a one-on-one and be like, what part did you find most interesting? What did you think? How can Anna, like if Anna's the consultant with the 3, how can Anna be serving you? And like I said, a lot of people we're still following up with, but so far, just out of last week, we for sure got a party booked and 2 people joined the business. So, and that was just out of 10 messages. So pretty good results. Any other questions?
I kind of have like a silly question, I guess. What would you suggest if I have someone that I personally don't really know, but she reached out to me and was like, I'm really interested in Arbonne and like the business side of it, and this is something that I'd want to add. Like, I didn't want to just send her an Arbonne video, but I wanted to add her to the event. Like, should I tell her like, hey, let me start a 3-way message so we can all get to know you? I didn't know how to like respond to that.
I would just be like, hey, do you mind if I plug you into this event tomorrow night? And you could connect her to me or Jamie, but you could say, Renee's going to be like speaking to 200+ people, but I want to connect you with either another VP or my mentor coach, so she can be able to field your questions. Then it's up to your AM and B. So you don't have to have that awkward Nikki, like, I don't know you, let me ask you a million questions. Like, we don't know her. So we can take that like awkwardness out of it and be like, okay, I don't know you. Like, I'm going to get to know you. Tell me about your life. What do you like to do for fun? So
okay, that's
we'll
perfect.
take the awkwardness out of it for you.
Okay, cool. All I know about is she was a bulldog, so that's pretty much it.
There you go. Any more questions? Okay, well, I'm excited for you guys to utilize this tool. Like I said, if you are like still like, I don't know, feel free to message me, text me, or feel free to scrap it, you guys. It is just a tool to help you utilize our virtual events a little bit more and hopefully get more business builders and parties out of them. It's instead of like just adding people and having them like in this virtual wonderland space where you're like, I don't know what to do with them now. I don't know if they watched their event or didn't watch the event, and I don't know how to follow up with them. It's just bridging that gap for you. So hopefully it helps. We're excited to hear from Renee tomorrow night, and thanks for getting on. Have a great week.